Box to Box FPL show, FPL Game Week 11 recap. Hey, wase, hii game week ilikuwa noma. Kabla tuanze, show is brought to you by Uber Eats. Kama kawaida, we have our managers of the month. We've already awarded them their prizes. So just want to appreciate you guys for playing. Ukitaka kushinda, all you have to do is join the league code ndio hiyo. What else? Yeah, tuko na league zetu za box to box pale WhatsApp. Community imegrow site, tuko over 550 people, different sports, FPL, NFL, NBA. Unaingia tu na join. Kama this weekend tumekuwa tukilia hii game wiki imekuaje. Na without further ado, wacha tuingie kwa team yetu ya game week 11 bro. 22 points. Alafu ukishatoa ile sub tulifanya, unapata kumbe ni under 18. Hey, it's actually 18, si under 18. But yeah, tulipata 18 basically kutoa 22 minus 4. Yeah, hey, things were bad. Game week, like this is one of those game weeks. This is just something that official FPL put an overview. This might have been the worst game week of all time. Wase wali blank na kwa hii blanking list kila mtu alikuwa potential captain. Son, Watkins, Salah, Saka, Alvarez. Injuries: Ban, Madison, Van de Ven. Subbed off: Haaland, Cash. Benched mtu wa 4 kid Simicas 4.5 sahi I think. Tana pia alikula bench. Udogi alikula red card. These are people who are all highly owned in FPL. Cash is the second most owned defender. Haaland is the most owned player, most captain player, most kila kitu player. Salah was also most captain. Watkins, everyone has him. Son, one of everyone has him. Like ilikuwa tu wiki mbaya. Clean sheet zenye zilienda Ariola, Leno, Saliba na Ederson. Definitely in contention to be one of the worst FPL game weeks of all time. Positive is, it only gets better from here. It can't get worse. Team yetu, pale nyuma, hata sijui kwa nini nasoma hii team. Juu hapa hakuna kitu nasoma. Shah aliget 5 points, of course aliget clean sheet, Newcastle versus Arsenal. Ariola 1 point, Cash 0, Pedro Porro 0, Saka 2 points, captain wetu Salah 4. Na unajua Salah alikuwa captain, nilikuwa nacheka wasa alikuwa na Haaland, juu Man City alifunga bao 6 na Haaland hakuwa, nilikuwa nawacheka. Wacha game ya Liverpool ikam Sunday. Hey, anyway, Son 2 points, Diaby 2 points, Watkins 2 points, Darwin missed a sitter and also got 2 points. We had benched to Dogi, he got -4, which means this could have even been worse. So we can only thank the Lord for what we have. Tukienda pale kwa leagues, box to box FPL show tumetoka 914 hadi 1243. Kila kitu leo ni ma red arrow. Everything is just looking off. Good company, we have dropped to 4319. Hiyo ni meshrub. Kuna jaribu kuificha but ni sawa. We've dropped almost 18,000 places, over 18,000 places in the Kenyan league to 52,000 in Kenya. Yeah, it can only get better from here. Something that came out of game week 11. Game week 11 injuries imekuwa wazimu. Wacha tu tuanze kutoka huko juu. Haaland obviously was subbed off at halftime. Pep said he had a bit of an ankle injury, but I'm making this after they have just beaten Young Boys in the Champions League and he scored 2 goals. So he seems to be fine. Danban, I think he's a dislocated. No, someone dislocated their shoulder. I don't think it's Danban. But yeah, Danban injury, him is also out for quite a bit. Let me just pull up that injury list actually, so that it tells me exactly what Danban's injury is, because I know he was subbed off. He had a painful fall. Yeah, I think it was a shoulder, if I'm not wrong. One thing that came out of that is that Livramento now actually seems like someone who's going to be starting in this Newcastle defense, but their fixtures are also not great. So yeah, and looks like Trippier atakuwa anacheza left back sahi. Matty Cash also was subbed off. Yake ilikuwa shoulder issue, not that dislocated, but a shoulder issue, and they play on Thursday in the Europa League, so we will want to see what in the Europa Conference League. Tuna kama ataanza, kama atakuwa kwa squad, we'll see. Odegaard is next. Odegaard was not even, he was an unused substitute in game week 11, came off the bench, akafunga kwa Carabao Cup in the 3-1 loss to West Ham, but but then missed the Newcastle game. So he's also an injury doubt. We'll wait to see if he's part of the team, the team that plays Sevilla. Rashford, kesi yake tu hata sijui. Me, kesi, we don't know what it is. We don't know if it's him falling out. We don't know what it is. But they're claiming it was an injury. He didn't play. But chances are he'll be fit for the next game. They're playing Luton at home. Wacha niseme hivyo juu. You saw what Liverpool did. Maddison, obviously, ankle injury. He was subbed off in the game against Chelsea just before halftime. He's had niggling injuries throughout the season where Ange amekuwa akistaga minutes zake, but maybe he's just succumbed to it. He'll be assessed, but even moving forward, I don't think he'll be playing 90 minutes over the next 3 or 4 game weeks, probably 60 to 70 there if he's fit. But also, if he's not fit, obviously he's not going to play. But his looks a bit unajua zile vitu zenye alitoka alafu it looked like he was going to try it, alafu after a while akasema tu hakuna haja kurisk. Advantage ya Spurs ni they don't have any European competition, so he will definitely have time to rest that ankle of his. Speaking of Spurs, wacha tuingie tu Spurs injuries. Also Van de Ven got injured. Yake ilikuwa hamstring. His looks a bit more serious. Someone who has had multiple hamstring injuries, yake ilikuwa na kakani tear, hata kama probably tear ama aka grade 2. So it didn't look too good. Spurs injuries. This is something niliona published a report. Richarlison has just confirmed he's going to get surgery on his pelvis, so he's going to be out for a while. They already have Perisic out, Maino Solomon out, Sessegnon out, Davies out, Romero is suspended, Udogie is suspended, and then Maddison and Van de Ven obviously being assessed. For a team that's not in Europe, I feel like the lack of fixtures will help them, obviously. People who are more likely to be coming back soon, I feel like Maddison's, because he actually wanted to play with it. So I think maybe he'll miss the least games out of this entire list. I don't know how long Davis is out for and Sessegnon, but even if they come back, they'll still need much fitness. And yeah, the list is growing. So, hiyo ni Spurs. Alafu tukitoka hapo Spurs, Brentford also really suffering. Flecken got injured. And Strahoska was actually came on and played. It doesn't look like he will be out for too long. Thomas Frank alisema tu it's a dead leg. Dead leg normally takes like 2-3 days and you're fine. So it's just a matter of how you that's why he was subbed off early, so that you don't cause any more issues to it. But that's not a big issue. And then Aaron Hickey, his name is Hickey, but Aaron Hickey will be out for the rest of 2023. I'm trying to remember who the other defender was who got injured. He was a big FPL asset, Rico Henry. Yeah, so they don't have Rico Henry and they don't have Aaron Hickey. Those are 2 big injuries from fullback. It will affect their play. Brentford already don't score many goals. They concede, they don't score. Wako tu hapo tu katikati. So in terms of FPL assets, yeah, they're just there. There's nothing else we can say much about Brentford. And yeah, that is our injury recap from Gameweek 11. Suspension tightrope. Hey, wengine hili suspension tightrope na wenye nakula suspension. Tukianza, Destiny Udogie, Christian Romero were sent off. Udogie was a second yellow card, so he only gets a 1-game suspension. Romero was a straight red. He misses 3 games. He'll be back in game week 14. Then players on 6 bookings: Anthony Gordon, Emerson, Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson gets red. He just gets yellow cards from nowhere. He's just, yeah. So anyway, yeah, Gordon, Emerson, Nicholas Jackson. Obviously, the next suspension is you get suspended 2 games when you get to 10 yellow cards. That is why we're giving you that list. Players on 5 bookings: Alexis McAllister, Bruno Guimaraes, Josh Cullen. Bruno got his, so he's going to miss the next game, obviously. He got his in the game against Arsenal. And then Lucas Paqueta, Edson Alvarez, Nelson Semedo, and Aaron Hickey have already served their 5-match suspension. So McAllister, Bruno, and Josh Cullen are yet to serve theirs, which means they're missing game week 12. And then players on 4 bookings: This list has been more or less the same from last week. I think the only person that joined was probably Bruno Fernandes, if I'm not wrong, and Kai Havertz. So we have Luka Dean, Douglas Luiz, Yves Bissouma, Mario Lemina, Ibrahim Sangare, Aurel Mangala, Jordan Ayew, Brathwaite, Craig Dawson, Kai Havertz, Boubacar, Kamara, Sean Longstaff, João Palhinha, Marvelous Nakamba, and Bruno Fernandes. And players on 3 bookings: Trent, Kaoru Mitoma, Jordan Beyer, Ben Chilwell, who's injured, Neto, Norberto, Nini Pedro, Enzo Fernandez, Joel Ward, Ashley Young, Ola Aina, Ahmed Zohic, João Gomez, Marco Correa, Morgan Gibbs-White, Hwang Hee-chan, Rodri, Pedro Neto. Obviously, Neto is also injured. Rodri has also already served a 3-match suspension for a straight red. Ait Nouri, Matikash, Saman Godos, someone who's new on the list. Pierre-Emile Oibier, Issa Kabore, Mitoma's name has appeared again. Oliver Norwood, Christian Nogard, Andre Onana, Franco Nyeka, Charlie Taylor, Lewis Dunk, Anthony Robinson, Ashley Young, mwenye alikula red card. So he served his 1-match suspension in game week 11. He'll be back for game week 12. Papsa from Tottenham, Destiny Udogi is my destiny, and Kieran Trippier. And that is our list of players who are on 3 yellow cards. So, obviously, game week 11 to Mumia. But out of all the chaos came out some good. Obviously, Nicholas Jackson scored a hat-trick. That was a big surprise to many, including myself. We all thought they were going to lose that game. But the standout player of game week 11 obviously has to be Jeremy Doku. The boy had 4 assists and a goal. He initially had... His expected goal involvement for this game was 0.5. And he had 5 goal involvement. So completely overperformed his worth. I have seen so many people getting him in for game week 12. He might not perform. Already he didn't play the game against Young Boys, so maybe that tells us that Pep atamcheza game week 12. It's also important to see his performance over a long period, right? So one thing about this team is he doesn't have a spot. Ako nailed on kwanza. Hiyo ni kitu moja again with this team. Again, many people kwa team ya Pep zuko hivyo, but mseka Haaland unajua atakuwa anacheza. Alvarez sasa unajua atakuwa anaanza. Hata Foden sasa yako anaanza kwa bench, like you're not even sure. So for me that's one of the biggest issues I have with Doku. Atujui kama atakuwa anaanza. Grealish pia ameanza kuingishwa kwa squad a bit more. So Doku anacheza left, anacheza right, like which position is he going to play? And you know Pep, depending on mwenye anacheza, he'll find a way to always tinker with things. So with Doku, he's someone, if he was on a team that's not potent come Man City, then you definitely get him in. But I feel like this next performance is crucial. Will he even start? Like, isn't it not kuona? And also, you're getting him at whose cost? Who are you removing in your team? Because I feel like kuna fixtures poor. Doku more than likely will not play more games than many people in that midfield, right? In midfield. So, but if you get him for game week 12, it's not a bad shout, it's really not a bad shout because he's an X factor. Now, you've seen hapo kuna potential ya kuwa explosive. Game week 12 already, as of Monday, to 44 transfers in, ashafika 6.6, more than likely atafikata 6.7. Ketia alikuwa next kwa hiyo list. Tyrick Mitchell, hii ni sasa wale overreact to Mitchell alipatia na points hii wiki. Sasa unajua unatoala sasa waje kupatia points unaingisha. The only person who you'd say here in this list that is worth actually bringing in is Bowen, has been consistent. Watkins for sure, Son for sure, Saka, Wilson, Trippier, yes. Anderson has had his moments. He's gotten double figures on, I think, once or twice so far this season. So he's a good shout. They've gotten clean sheets when you actually don't expect. But the rest of these guys, ni overreaction to us. Mna overreact. Transferred out. Ata Haaland. Okay, I don't have Haaland, so wacha nisiseme ati mna overreact. But if you removed him because he was subbed off at halftime, and there's a Champions League game, it's always wise ungoje uone Champions League. So ndo maana wase kama akina Wilson, Nani, kama Gordon was playing through the middle for Newcastle, in the game against Arsenal after Wilson was taken off. You wait and see what they're going to do in Champions League. Na tumeona sasa Gordon is going to be used in those areas. Joe Linton is being pushed a bit more forward as well. So those are some of the things nime notice from a game ya midweek. So especially midweek yenye kuna game, it's not good to rush into making that sub on Monday or Tuesday. You wait and see. Sasa wasenga ametoa Haaland. For us tulikuwa tumeplan kumtoa anyway, but if it was a hacky jacky reaction, sasa unaenda kuumia. Neto obviously akona injury hamstring, he'll probably be out for another maybe 3 games, but also international break in a camp, so there'll be time for him to come back. Romero 3 games he's going to miss 3 games because of his red card, so understandable. Estupinian, many people still had him, understandable. Madison injury, Udogi red card, Isak injury at 7.4, kukatu kwa bench yako, I make sense. So some of these ones I understand, but like sa zingine ni even Danban is a crucial one because I think he's going to be out for a while. So yeah, it's better to remove him now before he drops all the way to like 4.5. But yeah, Jeremy Doku was came out of nowhere, and if you get him, it's fine. But also if you don't get him and you're still thinking about it, I think a bit more. Kwa sababu kuna vile things might still happen. Hii Man City team, you don't even know who's going to start anymore. Unacheki. So yeah, and finally our start leaders for game week 11. Let's start with the teams with the most shots. So Liverpool had 24 shots. The team with the highest XG was Chelsea at 4.04. Obviously they were playing against 9 men. Spurs highest XG considered was 4.04 and they conceded 4. Lowest XG was Nottingham Forest at 0.4. Lowest XG considered was Aston Villa at 0.4 and they lost 2-0. Funny how football works. Sometimes even these XGs, unaziangalia tu unasema, sometimes they really help in making decisions that zingine they don't make sense because of what happens in reality. But most of the time is only my outlier. No one expected Nottingham Forest to beat Aston Villa 2-0 like that. Most FPL points, of course, Man City, they scored 6 goals. Opta stats leaders for game week 11. These are players now. Shots, Darwin Núñez. This is one of the reasons why we had him in our team, because we knew he's going to get chances. But 9 shots and not even... Yeah, it was tough. Shots on target, Nicholas Jackson with 5. Obviously, Lukatuma tapping, but he leads. Shots in the box, Nicholas Jackson 6. Again, he leads just because of playing 9 men and Spurs. Combination of playing 9 men and Spurs deciding not or keep going to that high line. I make sense. Big chances, Nicholas Jackson 4 and he scored 3. Goals 3, still the highest. Highest XG, Nicholas Jackson 2.77. Non-penalty XG, Nicholas Jackson 2.77. Key passes, Andres Pereira and Trent with 6. Big chances created, Mo Salah, Trent and Oscar Bob with 2 assists. Jeremy Doku had 4 assists. That might be, I think he tied the most assists in a game. He tied probably like quite a few Arsenal players by the way, which was surprising. Your list iko na Cazorla, I think Alexis, Arshavin, Fabregas, and then Adebayo when he was at Tottenham. It was an impressive list that he joined. Expected assists, Julian Alvarez, 0.96 and still blanked. FPL points, Jeremy Doku had 22, which is the same as my entire team. And then expected points, Nicholas Jackson, 14.76. And that is the recap for game week 11. Wase, it has been a rough one, but msi panic. Kila mtu ameumia. Very few people actually got. Nimeangalia kwanza hiyo top 10 ya box to box, hiyo FPL league show league yetu. Mama 32 na ma 20. I think someone got 44. Sijui msa alikuwa anafanya nini, but congratulations to you. Obviously, our top 3 every month mko in the running to win something from Uber Eats. And this show is also brought to you by Uber Eats. Box to box, WhatsApp community. Join, guys, link in the description. Join any sporting league you would like. Yeah, have fun. We're now well over 550 people and we're just growing day by day. And with that, let's hope for a better game week 12. Peace.